I'm going to share with you the exact process and strategy that I used to get a 10,000% ROI from my first training course selling exclusively with Facebook ads. So I'm all about social proof. I just want to let you know there's 1,500 people that are in this training course, either free or paid. It's not really a small training. We drove a lot of leads and opt-ins as well as conversions. And this is a screenshot from ActiveCampaign. And you can see that there are about 1,300 contacts in that automation. And the list has an 82% open rate and a 52% click rate. And that's directly because of the strategy that we use to build value throughout the entire life of that lead and ultimately have them actually wanting to convert and actually want to be on your email list. I'm going to share that with you. And finally, the most important part, I'm not doing this to stunt, I'm doing it for social proof. You can see 182,000 more reasons why you should watch the rest of this video, because I'm going to share you exactly how we spent about $4,000 on ads and drove $182,000 in sales. So like my man Khaled says, let's get into the keys to success first before I get into the actual strategy, because I'm not going to go through how to set up ads. I'm just going to assume that you're a basics with Facebook advertising. You're having some struggles generating leads, generating sales, hitting that ROI number that you want, or you've heard a lot about Facebook ads in the community and you really want to start using them because it's like the new hot thing right now, right? So first things first, you've got to get your technical stuff straight. Stop using plugins, set up Google Tag Manager on your site. It's very easy. I have an entire training on how to do it right here on my YouTube channel. Literally step-by-step short videos that are going to show you how to put it in your code and not use plugins and do it the big boy way. Next, you want to get your Facebook pixel set up properly through Tag Manager and analytics and all that stuff too. But pixel is incredibly important because without it, you can't do any sort of advanced targeting. You can't do remarketing. You can't do all the fun stuff that you hear about in the blog post. So you've got to get that set up and squared away. Here's a screenshot of it. It's the Facebook pixel. It's within your Facebook ad account. It's very, very straightforward once you get it set up. And finally, you want to make sure that you understand and leverage Facebook audiences. So I want to talk about this more, and I want to quickly cover audiences. I'm not going to get too in-depth with strategic audience targeting because honestly, it's not overly complicated. The key is really to keep it simple. But I want to cover broadly the 3 types of audiences that are on Facebook and just bucket them so you understand. Remember what's custom audiences? This is where you hear so much about remarketing. You can set all sorts of different remarketing parameters. Here is when you create a custom audience, you can upload your customer email list directly to Facebook and target only those people. Why would you want to do that? Because your customers are by far the most prone to purchase again. And if you've got a new launch of something, if you've got new products, if you've got sales, they are by far the cheapest way to get some sales and leads going, I promise you. After that is website traffic. So this is anybody that's been to your website, that's been to your checkout page, that's been anywhere on your website. You can remarket ads to them. And then the final 2 are app activity within a mobile app or a game. And then finally, this one is, I'm not going to talk about it too much in this video here, but I pretty much only use engagement targeting now on Facebook, and that's based on people engaging with your content on Facebook. So for example, I like to use it for video views. I run a very high level marketing news video on Facebook twice a month, and basically I'm building an audience and a remarketing list based on anybody that's watched 30 seconds or more of those videos, because I know they're highly engaged and they're highly aware of me and the brand, and that it will be very easy for me to sell something or introduce something to sell to them in the future. So I'm building a list based on engagement. And for the purpose of this, I'm going to talk about my training and how I sold that. And it was based on people who had been to specific pages, but not others. So let me put this into context. If you have your general services type website where you sell like SEO or digital marketing or something, right? So what you can do is you can put in a URL that's your sales page, your service page, your product page, whatever it is, and say, okay, Facebook, anybody that's been to this page, but not this page, which is the conversion page, so that thank you page, you can market to those people. So anyone that's seen your most valuable content or seen your landing page, you can retarget those people that have not converted and just serve traffic to them and do some very, very targeted stuff, which I'm going to show you how I did that in here. Next up is lookalike audiences. A lot of confusion around these two. This is basically just allowing Facebook to do what they do best. That's giving them an audience that you like and saying, hey, Facebook, go find this many more million people. And Facebook does an incredible job. I'm telling you, the data that they have is insane. Not just the stuff that you have on your profile, but they have so much cookie data about anytime you log into a website with Facebook app, they get your data. They know you, all right? Just trust them. If you tell them to go find an audience that's niche, they will go and find the most relevant people to that audience, and it's a great way to scale your campaigns indefinitely. Finally is cold audiences. again, a lot of confusion around these, but this is basically just when you go into the targeting section of the ad and you add interest targeting, you add demo targeting, stuff like that. Again, keep it simple. If you want to advertise to Jay Cutler, do that. Just advertise to Jay Cutler. Don't start layering on a bunch of different audiences. You want to keep the audiences pretty niche. What you can do is narrow the audience by segmenting. So you can say, okay, anyone that likes Jay Cutler, the bodybuilder, but also is a vegan, because that will segment the audience to like bodybuilding vegans, just like some sort of Venn diagram. It's incredibly powerful. But other than that, you want to keep this very simple and test multiple audiences so you know which one works, and then push those into your custom audiences and create new audiences based on them. Again, it's how you scale your ads indefinitely. But the key is really not to overthink it. If you want leads, run lead ads. If you want clicks, run clicks to website. Facebook is not here to confuse you. This is not SEO with Google. You are not trying to beat the algorithm. They want you to win. So keep it simple. If you want to get video views, run a video view ad. If you want to get leads, collect leads for your business. If you want traffic, send people to your website. What the algorithm does for Facebook is it segments the audience that you put in it based on the people most prone to take your action as a goal. So if personally, I watch a lot of videos on Facebook, so all the ads I get are videos. I never really get like pages because I only like 2 Facebook pages. So Facebook knows that I'm not prone to like a page. I'm not prone to click to go to a website, but I'm very prone to watch a video. So I get tons of video ads. So Facebook is very intelligent like that. Just trust what they say. Same thing with audiences. Don't overthink it. If you ever have a question though, you can use Facebook Audience Insights. Again, here's the Jay Cutler bodybuilder thing. You put it in here, change some of these age, location, stuff like that. And what it does is it tells you the people that are in the audience what else they like. You know, so if you don't know if this doesn't say bodybuilder, if this is just Jay Cutler, you could put it in here and it could turn out that he's actually a chef, right? Because of other pages that you like. So it's very important to cross-check your audience with insights. Very quick, very easy, and incredibly powerful for other stuff like content marketing as well. One of my favorite tools actually. So just like I said, it's not SEO. The algorithm's set up to run in your favor. So the next big thing here is building value in relationships within Facebook. You might have heard about this, but you know, and this is nothing against Ad Espresso. I love them. They're a great company, but I just pulled this off the web. How many times have you seen this where, you know, people just want to advertise their landing page or their new product or put some sort of dangle, you know, clearly opt-in bait in front of your face? I mean, this is what happens. Somebody's going to opt in because they want the ebook. They're not overly interested in what you have to say, and they're going to unsubscribe off the email, or the quality of your emails are going to be very, very low quality. And the problem with this is that your conversion rate in the back end, you know, you might be getting conversions, but you don't realize your potential, and also you're overpaying because what you're paying to get people off of Facebook this early before they're really interested is much higher than what you would be after they're interested. The cost to get people off of Facebook when they're highly engaged is really, really cheap. So what we want to do is not blow our load too early, pardon my French, and we want to focus on building the value within Facebook and remarketing within Facebook to keep the interest level high so that the value of our audience and the cost to advertise to this very niche audience as we go down goes way through the floor. So that's why I'm able to spend so little and get such high results, because the people that actually make it to where I want them to go are highly, highly motivated, they're engaged, and they have intent to purchase, which is key. Another key point here, which not enough people talk about, is it takes 5 to 8 interactions. There's tons of data that shows this before somebody's a legit lead or prospect. So I like to hack this by using video. You know, you might not be able to put your face on here, but I'm telling you, when you're able to put a video with your face on here talking to somebody, it's an incredible amount of just craziness how people feel like they're more comfortable, they know you. You're able to sell a lot more. Like, people don't necessarily want to read all the time, and videos run within Facebook, so you don't have to get people off of Facebook to get your message. I can pitch you in this video and you don't have to click, but you're still getting sent to a custom audience because you watched the video. So you're still within my funnel even though you didn't click and go to my website. It's very powerful. And again, just the recognition, the branding, all this stuff. You can see here, here's 2 touch points. You got my face here and my face here. That's 2 touch points right there that I run with 1 ad. Not to mention, if they click to learn more, that's a 3rd touch point going to my website. So you're able to hack these things. You know, I see people using like stock imagery. It's like, why are you wasting this huge, beautiful banner to get somebody's attention? Use it. Take advantage of it. Hack this by using video. I mean, one more soapbox note here is, if you're not running Facebook video, you're crazy. It's by far the best way to market anything right now. It's the cheapest and it's highly targeted. So, you know, you heard it here. Stop running anything but video. Just Run video, nothing else, period. So finally, have a plan going into your campaign. Know what type of ad type you want to run. If you want to get video views, like I said, leads, know going ahead of time. Don't go in there and start playing around and testing different ad types. Know what you want to do beforehand. Again, know your audience targeting. Know who your audience is before you start running this campaign. Don't go into the ads and be like, oh, should I do Jay Cutler here? Should I do vegan here? I'm just going to see what works. Know ahead of time and then test and optimize within there. It's going to save you a lot of money. Content and creative strategy. I'm going to talk a lot more about content in a second because it's really the key that makes this whole thing run. But creative strategy as well. Have an idea of every time that you're talking to that person or advertising this person that the brand, the feel, the look, the language is all the same. So you're sending a consistent message. Again, it's about those touch points. If you've got somebody's attention, you cannot waste it by having off-brand crap. Finally, most importantly, draw out your funnel end to end. This is ultimately what this is about. I was debating whether to target this make this topic, say that 5 times fast, how to build a Facebook funnel, because I'm going to show you the exact funnel that worked for me, and you're going to love it, man. I'm telling you. Let me sell you a little bit more. So let me just start by running you through kind of your basic marketing funnel up top. You probably already know this. You've got awareness, then you've got interest, you've got desire, you've got action, and then my own little baby and wrinkle up here is attention. And I have this up here because attention is incredibly important in today's world. We are inundated with media, social media posts, cat videos everywhere. It's really hard to get people's attention. And you need to treat this as a stage of your funnel, because before somebody is aware, you don't just become aware of a brand, you've got to get their attention. So that layer is incredibly valuable. That's why I run this type of traffic. That's why I put short videos on Facebook and boost them just to get video views, because I need to get people's attention before they can become aware of the brand, before they can get as part of this funnel. So some of the things in there that I put in attention is if somebody's read one of my blog posts, I have their attention. They're not aware. I have their attention. Maybe I have their attention. If they watched past one of my videos on YouTube, on Facebook, if they saw a guest post they wrote, if they watched a webinar of mine, if they've been to a speaking event of mine, I have these people's attention. If they're a Twitter follower, they're not aware. I have their attention. Maybe I have their attention. These have to be engaged video views for me to get their attention, right? So this is not something to be taken lightly that not enough people talk about, because, I don't know, it just gets lost in the shuffle, I guess. But after that, you're aware if you took an action to become a Facebook fan. You're aware if you opted into an email list. You're aware if you're my YouTube subscriber. You're aware if you're my customer list, and some heavy retargeting too, you're aware as well. So again, awareness is not something to be taken lightly. These have to be people, we have to classify these people as people who know who you are. They're aware of your brand. They're aware of what you do. They know about Nike, they're aware, right? They know about what you sell, then they're aware. If not, they're not aware. You still need their attention. And I'm gonna talk about that a lot more the next part of this funnel. So after that, we get actually into the funnel in the interest level. So these are people that are interested on your landing page. They're interested in your squeeze page. They're interested in your product, and they're interested in maybe a discount or something like that. So I'm starting to build this out now to not just be about training, but about SaaS, about e-commerce, all sorts of different stuff, so you can get a full context of this funnel and the power of it. After that, I gave away a free trial on my landing page for the course. But maybe if you sell, again, we sell SEO, and the goal of our landing pages, of our service pages, is to set up a phone console. If you're on e-commerce, it's a checkout page. But these are people that want to be here, right? This is getting people down the funnel in terms of interest. This isn't just somebody that happens to be on your free trial list. This is somebody that wants to be on your free trial list. Excuse me. And all that is driven by up here, which I'm going to talk about in a second. Finally, obviously, purchase and sale. They become a client, what have you. So again, the key to this funnel is to build intent throughout the whole funnel. Even if somebody, is on your email list, for me, maybe they joined my email list because they saw a video I did about Facebook ads, but I'm selling a training about link building. So they're still not really aware, and they're definitely not interested. So what we want to do is actually get people to go through this whole process every time we want to sell them something, so they hit all these stages and pound them around. By the time they're at the bottom, they have their money in their hand and they're ready to go. So even if they're aware, even if they've been to your landing page, we still want to get them all the way up here and reintroduce them to this funnel, because we need to rebuild that intent for everything that we're selling. So what a lot of people do, and this is where I see the most errors when I do consults, is people want to just run traffic to the landing page, and I get it. But it's way too soon. If you're just running ads to your landing page, yeah, again, you're going to get some conversions, you're going to get some sales, but you're doing it the wrong way. You're paying way too much, and it's not nearly as effective, because, again, even if they've been to your website, people are like, oh, well, I use a retargeting list. Just because they've been to your website doesn't mean they want to buy. What's your website's conversion rate? 3% if it's really high? That means 97% of the people want nothing to do with you. And that's something that people don't realize, that just because they came to your website doesn't mean that they're interested in what you're selling. The contrary, especially with all the content on the web, they probably have no idea what you do. You don't even have their attention. So what we need to do, and again, sending traffic to the landing page with no traffic, little no relationship, has no value, they have no awareness, they're not ready to buy, they don't have intent, even your audience, and you need to get their attention again, even if they've seen you before. It's really important that we flush people back down this funnel so they're ready to buy. So no further ado, let me show you exactly how I set up mine and the exact thought process and strategy behind it. So the key to all this, like I said, is actually content, right? So as opposed to, again, running an ad and saying, hey, opt in to get our free webinar, or, come join our free webinar. I looked at the data, and the data for webinars says two things. Number one, webinars are by far the best way to sell anything online. If you can get somebody to watch a full video about you talking about your product, they're sold. The conversion rate on it's crazy. So I knew I wanted to do a webinar, but the problem is when you run webinar traffic from Facebook, what happens? You have to set it at a time. Even if you use one of those just-in-time webinars, they're just not really effective, because what happens is that people opt in and then they're not ready to watch it. Their kids got sick. They forgot they had dinner plans. The conversion rate from opt-in to actual watching the webinar is like 25%, let alone the people that stay through the whole thing and actually watch it. We're talking maybe like 10% of the people. That's a lot of lost traffic and lost opportunity. So what I did is I was like, you know what? The value is in the webinar, right? I need to do a webinar, so let me just record it and give it away for free, put it on my blog. And the reason I did that is because I can take this piece of content and promote it. I just needed to, my goal was not necessarily to sell trainings, it was to get as many people to watch this webinar as possible, because the value of watching this webinar, I knew it would convert like crazy if I could just get people to watch this. So instead of gating it and making people opt in and losing all those people, I thought, why not just try and get as many people in there as possible for free? So what I did is I set it up on my website. Sorry, I jumped the gun a little bit. Set it up on my website, and I set up remarketing parameters. I said, hey, if somebody's been to this website, if somebody's been to this page, and watched this video, stayed over 2 minutes on the site, then run a remarketing page, a remarketing ad that's a video, again, of me talking, so another touch point, my face again, saying, hey, did you like that webinar? Guess what? We have a training with 100 videos that will never have you to work about link building again. So even right here, if we just stopped right here, you can say, okay, number one, yeah, we built some interest by getting them to watch the video. We hacked the touch point as well. Not to mention, hey, this is about link building. We know they must be interested in link building, so why don't we introduce our link building training? So the piece of content was highly targeted. It was literally about the process that the training gives you. It's literally how to do white hat outreach at scale. And that webinar just crushed it. It was the whole process end to end, and people saw the results. So what I did was, again, just saying, hey, it's about link building. We got a whole more training. If you like that webinar, how about the in-depth version? And then we send them to the landing page. So again, so now at this point, they're like, okay, like maybe I want to check it out. But if not, again, not everybody is ready to convert or wants to convert. What you do is you retarget off of that page. So anybody that came to this website, this landing page, anybody that came to this landing page, we set up that custom audience parameter, said, if they've been here but not to our thank you page, then run this video ad that drives them back here. And this is a different video ad, again, another touch point where it says to them, hey, did you know we're giving it away for free? There's 100 videos in there for free. So it's just pushing the free option. And the goal of this landing page, you could purchase from here, but the conversion rate to direct purchase is always very low. The goal was to get an email, because we had a killer email list, as you saw, that was opening really high. We had a 7-day drip campaign that was just pushing value, pushing case studies, pushing social proof. It converted very well, obviously. So our goal was to get them onto this email list because they would convert off of it. And then again, the email list was driving sales. I mean, you saw the open rate, and if you take a minute to think about it, everybody that got to this point here, they know why they're on the email list. They know I'm trying to sell them a training, but they wanted to open it because they understood throughout this the value, the touch points, the branding. They felt the personalization through the whole campaign, that I had an 80% open rate and 50% click rate on a list that they knew was trying to sell them something. That's really insane if you think about it. And again, it's because of the value that's been provided to them to this point, and even before this, which I'm going to touch on in 1 second. So we're still not done, because what happens is anybody that's on the email list, hey, we can upload that as a custom audience to Facebook. And we can also tell Facebook, hey, anybody that's on this email list but has not been to our final checkout page, run this final video ad that drives them towards a sale. This was a hard close. So, I mean, you look at this, you're trapped in this funnel of 3 video ads that are incredibly powerful. And again, the email list, everything, this is just the funnel that we use to crush it. But the best part about all this is everything in green is automated. right? Because basically the trigger for this campaign now is anytime that somebody comes to this webinar, you're not going to see any of this stuff unless you've been to this page. And that's the beauty of it. It's a highly segmented, very small audience. But once you've been here, you get caught in our funnel. So anytime that I have this campaign on, it's off right now, just FYI. But if I had this ad campaign on, if I re-promoted this page, number of ways you can do that, which I'll talk about in 1 second, then you get caught in this funnel. And it's just high converting. And that's what I'm saying, because we only had to spend $4,000 because this audience is so small, but so highly engaged because there's so much value throughout this. It crushed it. So again, like I said, all I had to do then, I didn't have to focus on tweaking the ads and this and that. I just let them go for as high as possible. Just let them go because that audience was so small. And then I could say, okay, let me just focus on doing what I do best, and that's driving traffic. So I went out and I promoted the hell out of this webinar. I ran a video Facebook ad. So look at all these touch points now: video, email list, video. That's 6 videos that you're watching of my dumb ass selling you the whole way through. It's a very, like I said, a very personal process. So I was using video ads to drive traffic to this and get them into the funnel. That was my number one way to get traffic to it. It was just amazingly powerful. Then I use my email list again. What a lot of people will do is just say, hey, I've got a 2,000 or 20,000 person email list. I just launched a training. Let me email them. No, dude, don't do that. Push them through this funnel. Get them to understand what it's about. Add them value. Get as many people to watch this. Think about it. If you email your list and say, hey, I've got this great 20-minute video that's going to show you everything you need to know about how to do link building at scale for free. If you send that to them, they're going to click on it. They're going to watch the video. If you say, hey, I've got a great new training, they're not going to click. They're not going to open it. Much lower amount anyways, right? And they're not going to really have a context for what it's about. But if you can get as many people to watch your piece of value as possible, they're going to be sold going through the funnel. I'm telling you, you got to trust me on this. Facebook groups, I use Facebook groups. I use inbound.org. I use growth hackers. I put this all over the place. I did outreach. Because it's a piece of content, you can pitch it for link building. So, this actually now ranks in Google search for scaling your link building, stuff like that. It ranks and it gets organic traffic. So that's a whole nother source. If you can't get a landing page to rank as easily as you can get a really good blog post to rank about exactly what you want the training to be about and to sell. So, you take a deep breath. That's the whole thing end to end. I realize that this is a little bit different than what a lot of people are going to tell you. I know there's a lot of people out there saying, you're full of shit, dude. I run these lead gen ads and we do it exactly how you said not to do it and it works. I'm with you, dude. It's going to work. It's still going to work. You're still going to get results from doing it the old way. But the problem is that this way just works better, man. You can't argue with the results that I've gotten. And it's not just this. It's e-commerce stuff that I'm doing. It's boosting content for clients. Just using video ads for awareness is incredibly powerful. And again, for a couple $100, you can reach 50,000 people of your exact audience. It's crazy, crazy powerful. So if you guys like this video, please subscribe, email, YouTube, and Facebook, and I will see you in the next Webby.